Hi everyone, welcome back. I've got my March Empties video today, so I'm going to be talking about all the makeup items here by my side that I have finished off in March. And I finished off 12 items last month, which is a pretty good amount for me. 12 seems to be sort of like the average number that I tend to finish off in a month. And I have a good selection here of skincare, hair care, makeup, body and perfume, so quite a few different types of products to be talking about in today's video. So I'll do what I usually do, talk about the products and whether or not I would want to repurchase them in the future or not. Okay, first item I finished off was the one and only perfume that I used up in March, and it is my Thierry Mugler Angel Nova perfume. Quite a pretty bottle, a really nice one to have on your dressing table or in your bathroom or whatever. It's that pink star shaped. I was a little bit concerned that once this got towards the bottom and I started running out of the product that it would be quite awkward to use up. I might have to try and twist the bottle to try and get any product to come up through the nozzle. But luckily where my tube is, my tube sort of like sits in one of the pointy bits of the stars, so as long as all the remaining product are collected in that little bottom leg of the star there, it was fine. So I did actually manage to finish this up really quite easily. In terms of scent, this is a really lovely, in-your-face, full-on, quite a bold, fruity scent. So I think the top notes are lychee and raspberry, and that raspberry is really, really strong. That is the kind of the main scent that you are going to smell. Middle note is rose, and I love rose-scented things. I love rose-scented like body lotions, perfumes, as long as it's not like a stuffy, old-fashioned type of rose scent, which this is not. Although this is quite a fruity perfume, it's not like a sort of a young fruity scent. It is quite a sort of sophisticated, quite an updated fruity scent. So if you are one of those people who don't particularly like fruity perfumes, and I think I'm probably not one of those people, I like more sort of like heady, woody, musky perfumes. I'm not really a fruity perfume type of person. This is an updated version of that, so don't let that sort of notes of raspberry and lychee put you off. This is a really lovely scent. This could quite easily become a very overpowering scent though. You literally only need a couple of sprays. I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it, but I spray a couple of bits onto my wrist, rub together and then sort of like press into sort of areas on my body to make sure it covers my whole body. So don't go overboard with this perfume. Don't go spraying loads of sprays of it all over, because it really will be too much. But it really is a lovely scent. I'm not sure it's one I would rush to repurchase. I wouldn't say no, I wouldn't rule it out, but I do have favourites above this one, but I'm glad that I've tried it. Really lovely, but probably more of like a spring-summer scent for me than like a year-round scent. Okay, let's do hair next. I have two hair care products that I finished off. They're both exactly the same, and they're both two spray bottles of Batiste Dry Shampoo, both in the 200ml. One is the original scent and one is the tropical. Both lovely scents. I don't think there's any scents of the Batiste Dry Shampoo that I've tried that I haven't liked, so I think no matter which one you go for, you're going to get a nice smelling dry shampoo. Now, I didn't finish these off this month from brand new. I think one was about half full, and that was one that I had been using before I went on holiday, and then I bought a brand new one of these to take on holiday, so I had a full can of it, because I do use dry shampoo basically kind of every single day. My hair today needs washing and it is about 90% dry shampoo, so apologies about that. But I've mentioned these before on my channel. I include a Batiste Dry Shampoo near enough every month on my monthly empties. It's a product that I can just trust. It does the job. It's cheap. It smells nice. I don't get any white residue, soaks up any greasiness or oiliness, and it just works for me. Really like the product. Not a lot else that I can say about it that I haven't already said or that anybody else hasn't said. But if you want a cheap, nice smelling dry shampoo that does the job, Batiste, it works. Okay, let's do some skincare. I have a facial mist that I used up from Roche Posay, Xeracalm. This is probably my third bottle of this, I think. It's one that I have repurchased a couple of times before in the past. It's a 150ml spray can. It's got a nice sort of like fine mist. It's not a thick spray that drenches your face. It is a very nice thin fine mist, which I do like in a facial mist. And this one I think is good for sort of acne skin that has any breakouts, but it's also really good, well-rounded facial mist that's good for I think any sort of skin types. And it's one that I bought originally because Caroline Hirons had recommended it, and I tend to buy a lot of skincare that she recommends. And this one is really, really lovely. I use it to sandwich in sort of hydrating serum. So I use it to sandwich in my Indeed Labs Squalene oil. And it just helps to sort of like lock in any moisture from your hydrating serums. So a really handy product to have. One that isn't really a necessity in your skincare routine, but when I use one up and I don't have a replacement, I find that I really, really miss it. So it is a product that I would continue to repurchase, and this one in particular, like I said, I've bought it multiple times before. I will continue to do so. And the Roche Posay is a really good brand. It's a real sort of like trusted brand for sort of sensitive skin, irritated skin, but then it also has ranges for other types of skin types and concerns as well. So really, really great brand, great product. Really liked this one. Another skincare item also sort of related to Caroline Hirons, and this is the Ren Omega 3 Optimum Skin Oil, and this is a product that was in her routine kit that she released autumn last year, around about sort of October, November time, can't remember exactly when, and this was one of the products in that kit that I was really excited to try. I've not tried a lot of Ren skincare. I think in my mind, because it is that slightly higher price point, it's I suppose a brand that I don't really consider because it is that kind of like considered purchase because of the price tag. So this was one that I was quite looking forward to, and because we were moving into the sort of autumn winter months, my skin gets a lot more dehydrated, gets a little bit more irritable as well, a little bit more sensitized. So I thought a product like this would be really, really handy. And I love this product. This is definitely my favourite product from that routine kit. I think it is brilliant. So it is an oil, but it's like a serum oil. It's not greasy or heavy like some people think oils typically are. 1 to 2 pumps of this pressed in over your face, your neck and your décolleté, and you are good to go. Top it with a moisturiser, and I did actually use this in the morning and in the evening. So because it's not that thick, heavy, greasy oil that takes ages to sink in, it is appropriate to be used in the morning as well, and then makeup can go lovely over the top. It's a 30ml bottle, and because it's a pump bottle as well, the mechanism, it does come up like this, so there's no cutting open of the tube, no digging around to get rid of and use up any product that's left over in the bottle. Every last drop of this will be used up, so really like this kind of design in packaging. And this is definitely a product that I would repurchase, but I was initially thinking, oh, it's Ren, it's an oil, it's going to be super expensive, but I think it's around about £28, which yes is a lot of money, but if you can get it on discount, and then because it is a serum as well, I don't mind spending a little bit more for a serum. Where I don't like to spend lots of money is, say, a cleanser and a moisturiser. I like to spend a bit more money on my serums, on my hyaluronic acids, on retinol, products that are really kind of going to get deep into the skin and start working. So I'm glad that this is not super expensive. If this was over, say, sort of like 30 quid, then that would make me a little bit sad. But I'm glad that this is a better price point, because this is definitely a product I would repurchase. I think this is good all year round, but I think especially in the autumn winter months here in the UK, where the weather isn't particularly nice and our skin feels the effects of that, this product would come in super handy. So I think if you have quite dehydrated skin, if you just want a bit of nourishment, a bit of like TLC for your skin, this is a lovely product to try. So I would definitely recommend this, and I will be repurchasing this in the future. And then a third skincare item is one from my project pan, from my other beauty project pan, which aren't makeup items, and it's a face mask, which I'm really glad about, because I think I have 3 face masks, or I did have 3 face masks in that project pan, and face masks for me are an item that I just don't really think about applying. I think because I rely on other skincare items to do the work of a face mask, I just forget to use a face mask. So really happy that I've used one of them up, and it's one that I have tried a few times in the past before, and it's from one of my favourite brands, and it's Elemis, and it's the Herbal Lavender Repair Mask, and this is a 75ml tube, so it's a fairly sort of generous sized amount of face mask. And this is really nice for sort of irritated skin, because the lavender helps to kind of soothe it and calm your skin down. But this is also really good for breakouts as well. And this was what I tended to use the mask for. So if I noticed that I had any breakouts or my skin was just a little bit red and irritated, I would apply this mask. And this was great to wear on the face, neck and décolleté, so all over. and it's a clay-like consistency, but it's not super drying like a clay is. It doesn't dry down completely where you can't move your face, and if you try it cracks, but it does dry down a little bit, and it's got like the colour and texture of a clay mask. So put this on, leave it on for 10-15 minutes, and then it washes off really easily, and then you just finish off your skincare routine. And yeah, I've tried this one a few times in the past before, really like it, think it does a good job. But like I say, I'm not a face mask type of person, so I don't think I would rush to repurchase it. But because I've used it before in the past, it's not one that I would rule out. I know it works for me. I know it does a good job. But I'm just not a face mask person. And I still have 2 in that project pan, and then I think another one in my bathroom. So there are plenty of face masks in my collection to be working through. Okay, let's do some makeup. So a little bit of a spoiler for my project pan. These are all project pan items, and these are all lip items as well, which I'm really pleased about, because although I love lip products, lipsticks, glosses, liners, I have a lot of them, so it is a category I want to work on reducing this year. So I'm glad that I have used up 3 items, and I have 1 lip liner, lipstick and lip gloss to talk about. And I will talk about these in my project pan video as well, so I'm going to try not to say too much. So the first one I used up is this teeny tiny lip liner from MAC, and this is in the shade Subculture, and this really is a My Lips But Better shade. My lips naturally are very pale, they're very blue pink, like a very cool toned colour, which is quite weird for me because I have warm skin. Although I'm pale, I'm warm and not cool. So Subculture is that kind of dusky blue based pink, and it's light, so that is why it's a My Lips But Better type of shade. So really lovely to go with any type of makeup look, a real pared back look or a smoky eye. It looks lovely with either. I think the shade is quite dupable though, so I think you can get this from other brands, and I wouldn't actually repurchase this because I'm really not a fan at the moment of MAC lip liners and eyeliners. I just find that they're quite drying, they don't glide on the skin very nicely, you have to kind of push down quite hard to release the pigment. Not sure whether that's because I've had my lip liners and eyeliners for quite some time now, but it's not a formulation that I would repurchase in the future. So I would just look at getting this shade from other brands. But it looked lovely on, really like this type of shade, and I'm really into pink shades of makeup now rather than sort of like browny peachy nudes. I very much prefer a pinkier nude, something similar to this one but possibly not as frosty. And this was actually a really easy item to use up because it's a pencil, you have to sharpen it, and like I say, because it was that really lovely versatile colour to wear, got through it very quickly. So I'm glad that that is 1 lip liner in my collection that I can kind of cross off the list and work on the next one. Similar thing with this lipstick here. This is my Revolution Soph lipstick. Not sure if you can see down the tube there, but it's a dark brown. Would be a really lovely nude shade for people who have very dark skin, but for myself, very pale. This was too much of a contrast for me. It was quite a difficult shade to wear. So towards the end of it being in my project pan, I did start wearing it as like a cream bronzer or blusher, but it looked a little bit muddy. So I got down quite far to finishing this lipstick, and then I did actually just call it quits. I'd been thinking of doing that for quite some time. I don't really like to do that with makeup items. I like to completely use them up, but I just didn't like how it looked. So I thought, well, there's no point keeping it then. And I'd been working on it for months, so I'd definitely gotten my use out of it. It was also £4 as well, so an absolute bargain. So I didn't feel that guilty about just scooping out the rest of it. There was literally possibly like 2mm worth of product left in the tube, so there wasn't much at all, but I was just done with it. These lipsticks though are very creamy, so although I prefer a cream lipstick over a matte one, these ones are too creamy because they transfer quite easily. They don't have a lot of staying power, but they're £4, so you know, you have to have a little bit of leeway in that. And also just because of the colour, not my type of colour, but glad that I've tried it. I've tried all 3 lipsticks that she came out with, and this one is my least favourite. But if you're after a cheap lipstick that sort of does the job, looks nice, then these ones are really good ones to go for, but not one that I would repurchase. And then the last lip item I used up was my Vieve Lip Dew. Probably my least favourite Vieve makeup item that I've tried. I've tried quite a lot of Vieve makeup. I have quite a lot of Vieve makeup and I love it. Probably if not my favourite brand for makeup, one of my favourites. I just think it's brilliant. But this Lip Dew Glossy Lip Oil, I'm not a massive fan of. I like how it feels, but I don't like the glitter. And then when it wears off, you just end up with matte glittery lips. Not really my kind of look. Not hugely keen on the glitter in this. If they re-release this without the glitter, I would for sure repurchase it. But as it currently stands, wouldn't repurchase it, which is a shame because, like I say, it feels nice, it feels very hydrating. It's not really gloopy or sticky or tacky like a usual lip gloss is. But yeah, disappointed with that one, but another really easy one to use up because I can wear it on makeup free days, but also you can go with any other makeup look I'm wearing as well. You can wear it over the top of a lip liner, which is what I did do quite a bit with the MAC lip liner. You can wear it over lipsticks as well, so again, a real other sort of like versatile makeup item to get through. And then last three products to talk about are all body products. One is a hand cream. This is one that I got in a set for Christmas a couple of years ago. And this is Spa Luxetique. Not really heard of the brand before, and it's in an ocean scent. And it is a handy little 30ml tube, so really handy to put in your bag, to put next to your bed, to put on your coffee table. And that is what I tend to do in the flat here. I have lots of hand creams dotted about everywhere, so no matter where I am, if I notice my hands are dry, there's a hand cream right there for me to use. Although I don't know the brand, it does the job. It's really hydrating, feels really nice, doesn't sort of leave a load of residue on your fingers afterwards, so you can go and, you know, get back to work on your laptop if that's what you're doing. It's not going to interfere with sort of touching the screen on your phone, for example, so you're not going to get any of that sort of like greasiness on your fingertips. And the scent as well, ocean scent, yeah, it's quite a sort of refreshing smell. It's nothing too heavy or floral or sort of like musky. Like I say, it's nice and refreshing, nice and light. So a good little product, I'd repurchase it. And then the last two items are also, or were, in my project pan, and the first one is the Avene Xeracalm Lipid Replenishing Cleansing Oil. I originally bought this as a cleansing oil for my face to remove makeup, and I wanted a real gentle version of a cleansing oil, but it's horrible for the face. I feel like it doesn't wash off properly. It stings your eyes, even though it says right here, does not sting eyes. And you can use it for face and body, so I am using it correctly. So what I did in the end is that I just put this in my shower, and it was a nice hydrating body wash for when I was having a shower or if I was in the bath. Also worked fairly well as like a bubble bath, but didn't produce loads of bubbles. And this is a massive 400ml bottle, and there was a lot in this when I put it into my project pan. And I was thinking it would take me a good couple months extra to use it up, but no, I got through it pretty quickly. Very nice product, very hydrating. It doesn't strip your skin. You don't strip your skin of oils and moisture, I mean, and you don't come out of the shower and immediately think, right, I've got to put some body lotion on because my skin is just so dry. Very gentle, very nice, but I think, trying to remember how much this costs, I don't think I would spend that much on a body wash for the shower. I'm a little bit cheap when it comes to items like that. A cheap one I can pick up for £1 or £2 in my weekly food shop will do me fine. But if you do want something that is a bit more nourishing on your skin, if you have, for example, very dehydrated or very dry, very sensitive skin, if you've got eczema, for example, then Avene and this item here would be a good one to go for. But for somebody like me who doesn't suffer that badly with dry skin, I don't think it's a necessity. And then last item is one that I'm really pleased that I've used up because it's one that's kind of lingered for a little while in my project pan, is my Dove Dermaspa Summer Revived Tanning Body Lotion in a 200ml bottle. I get the medium to dark because although I'm quite pale and quite fair skinned, the light one doesn't really sort of show up. So the medium to dark, a couple of uses, and I do notice the difference. It's not patchy, it's not orange, it doesn't have that telltale biscuit smell. This is a really nice one to go for. I prefer this one to the Garnier body one, the one in the like the hourglass shaped bottle that's orange. Much prefer the Dove one. But I'm just really bad at remembering to apply body moisturiser. I suppose I say I don't really have the time to do so, but I do. I do have the extra 5 minutes when I come out of the shower to put body lotion on, but I just can't be bothered sometimes. And especially if I have quite a hot bath or a hot shower, rubbing in a body moisturiser just makes me even more hot. So I say to myself, oh, I'll get dressed and then I'll put it on later. And then I never do. So glad that I've used up a body lotion, and I've got another one here to be working on, and I've got a Dove one as well. I've got a Lush one. So yeah, body lotions for me are an item that I just need to force myself to wear, but glad that I have used this one up. So those are the items that I finished off in March then. So 12 is a really good number of items to use up. I feel like I'm whittling down my collection of all my different types of beauty products, which is really great. And I'm glad as well that I had a nice selection of makeup, hair, body, skincare, perfume as well. So I feel like I covered quite a lot of different categories in this video. So please let me know in the comments down below if you've tried any of these items and what are your thoughts on them as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.